the restrictions that are going into place at the present time are almost entirely based on the fear of the consumer losing employment. And so, again, the Fannie Mae size loans are very, very strongly backed, and they don't have the capacity to suddenly change their rules and nitpick about some of these, even though this is a very big topic, obviously, the losing their jobs, but it is still considerably safer and more reliable that these loans will close with far less roadblocks or and so forth down the road. Like what we're seeing is our Fannie Mae loans are closing much faster and more easily right now than any of the jumbo loans are, because for lack of better term, some of the lenders are practically trying to find reasons for why they should not have to honor these other loans. They've either suspended entire states that they won't loan in at all during the time of the national state of emergency, or they have all of a sudden changed these restrictions in the middle of the loan to the loan to value, requiring a much bigger down payment than they already agreed to when the loan started. Now, this doesn't happen on the Fannie Mae loans, which is what the point I wanted to make.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's helpful to know on what's going on with everything. All right. So I think we covered a lot of stuff. Any other viewers out there? Is there any other questions that you guys have, or you want to shout out a question? All right. One thing also, just quickly, I just have a few minutes left. With people that have, that are in the mortgage application process now, how does that work with banks? If they change lending practices, let's say yesterday, and they had a mortgage application out a week or two ago, or even a month ago, does that impact them or not? Or is it case by case, or how does that work, Donald?
In almost all cases, it's going to go into effect for anything already applied for. And so they will, and because what they define it as is other than clear to close. And so if a loan is in application and being processed at this moment, at any time, any of these jumbo lenders or non-Fannie Mae type lenders can suddenly change the guideline and state that effective immediately, all loans in process must meet this, this, and this in order to close. The only exceptions that I've seen so far are that loans that are 100% clear to close and scheduled. And so this is the problem we're having to deal with here, is juggling these things and letting the consumers know that up front that, it's going to be a little bit of a bumpy ride, or it could be that they understand this is not the norm. And, we don't like it any more than anybody else. I hate being the messenger of some of these bad news, but I really, really want to be transparent at the very beginning of this, that we're proceeding as fast as possible, and it's kind of like borrower beware.